Hello everybody, and today we're going to be talking about medium density fiberboard pre-painted material, aka pre-painted MDF. This comes from the Bandua company, and normally this stuff is pretty pricey. This Imperial House actually costs around $40 US, shipping not included, and I got it for $8.26. The Ruins set with the cool-looking stained glass effect, that normally costs about 20-something American, and I got it for $5. I thought it would be interesting as a newbie to this to get these sets, put them together, compare them to some other terrain sets that I've already painted, and just consider if this is something that might interest me or my viewers in the future. So like many things in life, the Ruins set is like a sandwich. You have 3 parts that kind of fit together. I couldn't find any directions online how to achieve this. It basically just says use white glue to put this stuff together. Pretty clear. You can see I got the one window wrong. I fixed that later on. You can fit them together, and I don't know how you're supposed to get it like evenly set up. The best way to do it was to use clips, I found out. Again, I couldn't find exactly what to do on the internet with instructions, so I'm just going with what seems to work the best. The box, the big old Imperial House 2. This was interesting. Once again, no instructions, and it was very intimidating when I first opened up this massive thing. People say, oh, well, don't have the parts separated. But all the parts were pretty much separated in the box already because it's been bumped around a lot. And I was scared. There was so many little bits. But the vast majority of those bits and pieces you don't actually use in the build. It's very clear once you actually start making it what parts are just like extra little bits and what parts you actually need to set up the model. So it seems intimidating, but it's really no different than setting up like a very simple puzzle. And everything seems to click together pretty well, except for the outside little bits and pieces. Now, I made the mistake of sort of trying to put it together the wrong way. You know, I think you just have to kind of get used to what these MDF things require you to do. I quickly found out that you have to kind of get the little bits and pieces on the outside and glue those on first, and then putting together the outside pieces actually, it's much easier to snap them together, because the little outside pieces actually had little holes which make the outside structure a little bit easier to put together. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it did not take that long. Probably only about 30-40 minutes to put this thing together, and it doesn't look that bad. This is a personal preference. I would rather have a 3D look on the tiles. Everything else, though, looked interesting, except this is the bad perspective. And you can see that the other way, you can see that there's an unfinished side. That was very interesting, I should say, because the packaging actually showed the unfinished side on the package. So that's very interesting, because I would assume they wouldn't want you to look at the unfinished angle, but they actually included that in the thing. So good for them. No lying in the promotional images. What you see is what you get, which is very rare for companies like this. So in perspective, these are perfectly scaled for most 28mm Wargame and D&D miniatures, as you can see from my farmer guy there. And here are the 2 sets together, the Ruins to the left and the Imperial House to the right. And the Ruins are very impressive on the table due to the translucent effect of these stained glass windows. They look really good. However, you can see I did not do a very good job of getting the sides even. This could be easily fixed with some paint. I don't even think you would need to actually sand them. I think a paint job would actually hide those uneven edges very easily. Yeah. Here it is compared to some wargaming terrain. And here's some Reaper Bones terrain. And here's some of that other wargaming terrain, which I was talking about earlier. And I think the perspective from the top is really where the 3D stuff that's not MDF shines. It just looks a little bit better. And here we can see the big old house compared to my very amateur effects here. You can see that even though I am a beginner with crafting terrain, I mean, the little house doesn't look too bad. Obviously, the Imperial cottage is much cleaner. It's got an interesting look to it. I think this is a matter of your own personal preference. Do you want to spend a couple hours making a building and dealing with all the crafting stuff, or do you want to pay more money and spend less time and have the more kind of clean look of something that's been, pre-painted, mass-produced? You know what you're going to get at the end of it. But honestly, these sets could be easily modified with crafting as well, and most of them come with little bits and bobs that you can kind of decide how you're going to put together and make it unique, make it your own piece. So there you have it, my amateur opinion on pre-colored MDF terrain pieces. I hope you found this helpful. I think that with the prices of these, I definitely, personally, wouldn't buy them for full price, but if I could get it for a slightly discounted price, I can see myself getting maybe an unpainted MDF piece if I needed a specific bit of scenery that might be tricky to craft, if there's some fiddly bits or something like that. I could definitely see myself going that route. With these, the pre-painted stuff is just, it's expensive as heck unless you get it on clearance. I'm happy enough. The townhouse really was larger than I expected it to be. So, and it's hollow. So I can actually put it on the table and then have stuff underneath on a map, lift up the house, and then you reveal what's in the house. So that'll be interesting, and so I definitely can use that. The ruins, I only paid $5. The stained glass effect is very interesting. I might try to consider if there's any sort of way I can sort of do my own crafting, to do my own effects, to make my own 3D terrain similar to this. But I think it was definitely worth the little bit that I paid, so I could get a look at these, and that you can get a look at these with me as we consider, as the hobby evolves and we get more and more stuff involved with it. It's good to take a look at the different stuff so you're not stuck taking a look at the same sort of stuff over and over again. And MDF was not around a couple years ago. Now it's widely available. I hope you had fun watching this video and that it was somewhat informative. I'm still working on that big crafting challenge video for September 9th with the Darkest Raven. Looking forward to that and a bunch of other projects coming up. So if you like this kind of content, I will continue to do reviews. Please give me a like. If you're feeling amazing, please subscribe to the channel. Everyone, have a good one.